Thank you for watching the most profitable show in crypto history. Stop everything that you're doing. Now it's crypto time. Welcome to the Crypto Villas Show.
Hello guys, welcome to Crypto Villa Show. I'm Crypto Villa speaking direct from Brazil in order to make you guys know the news in crypto. Well, first of all, I'd like to ask you guys subscribe to my channel if you didn't yet. Subscribe, bell button, all, okay? That's the only way you get notified earlier from other people and you can take advantage of this, okay? Also follow me on Twitter. Well, today is a very special day. I'm going to interview the founders of Chronicle, Tim and Jim, and the Chronicle is digital collectibles from the world's greatest brands. So let's call these guys to the show. Hey Tim, hey Jim, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Villa. Thanks for having us.
Hey, Villa. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for coming. And first of all, I'd like that you guys make a small introduction about the Chronicle, what the Chronicle is about, and what makes it unique than other NFT platforms.
Yeah, so obviously with Chronicle, we're coming from this from a fan perspective. Many of our team members, including myself, have previously worked on creating digital immersive fan experiences with Universal Pictures and film director Colin Trevorrow on the Jurassic World franchise. Which is a great story in itself. And so obviously having done that quite successfully over the last sort of 5-6 years, we've seen the opportunity with NFTs and digital collectibles and how at present, for the most part, NFTs and digital collectibles are a little bit difficult to get into if you're a fan and you don't know too much about blockchain and crypto. So things like having to get a MetaMask wallet, high gas fees, needing to use a desktop computer, needing to secure your wallet. These things are a little bit sort of troublesome, and we've kind of seen the opportunity to create something that's simple and that fans can access. So that's where we're coming from with Chronicle. We're creating a simple, easy to use platform. Officially licensed digital collectibles from brands across movies, television, entertainment, celebrities, sports, art, games, pop culture, and the whole process behind what we're doing is basically building a platform, easy to use, email address registration. We've got USD fiat onboarding. All of the blockchain sits in the back end, and we basically look after the users' wallets.
Okay, and you talked a little bit about usability, right? And I'd like to understand better this, how Chronicle is going to solve this problem that the traditional users right now, they can't use too much physical collectibles because it's too hard to use crypto, to be in the crypto space for regular people, right? So how exactly you guys are going to solve this problem?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we've currently seen, we've got a lot of decentralized open platforms, which like OpenSea, Rarible, etc., which are absolutely fantastic. However, there's a prerequisite knowledge that you need to have to be able to use them. Obviously, some of the collectibles themselves, the prices have gone quite high. And to expect, your traditional sort of mom, dad, family fans to be able to get in at a lower price point is a lot more difficult. Now, I can probably give a bit of context as well, Villa, that we actually started by having a chat to a film studio earlier in the year and discussing the emergence of NFTs and digital collectibles. And we kind of asked them at that point earlier in the year, what would you like to see as a film studio for digital collectibles in terms of features and that kind of a thing? And they definitely wanted to see something that's fan-focused and something that could be easy to use for, not just crypto fans, but obviously traditional retail. And we basically took a lot of that feedback and implemented into Chronicle. So with what we're building with Chronicle, we're looking to build a web, desktop, as well as smartphone application platform. Blockchain sits in the back end. As a user, you'll just need to register an account via email address, verify with a phone number. You can load US dollars via a credit card. You don't need to have crypto. And you can basically get in and start purchasing digital collectibles, or in our case, cards and packs of cards at a lower price point. And that just the sound of that is already attractive for some of the brands that we're speaking to.
Okay, so you guys are going to have a Fiat on-ramp solution, right, inside the app? Okay, and what will be the benefits for brands to launch NFTs on the blockchain? Oh, I think we lost Jim.
we may have lost Jim. Yeah, I can answer that in any case as Jim reconnects. But look, okay. the benefit for brands, I can probably answer it two ways. There's a benefit for fans as well. So for the very first time, as a fan, you will actually be able to verify that the officially licensed collectible within our platform, or NFTs for that matter, is actually a licensed collectible. So, because it's the blockchain is basically an open ledger. If we say that this limited edition card is a 1 in 500 card, that there's 500 of these collectibles that have been minted, we can verify that on the blockchain. So as a fan, NFTs make sense, right? Because you can be rest assured that what you have is authentic, it is what we say it is, and it's not a duplicate, it's not a copy. As for the brands, our selling point is that for the very first time as a brand, you will have access to real-time reporting of the entire collectibles. So basically, a brand would be able to have access to maybe like a back end where they can actually see how many collectible cards have been sold, what cards have been sold the most frequently, what cards have been traded by fans the most frequently. Are there any particular, character cards, that have been more successful than others? And so it's a lot more data than they would typically have access to previously.
Yes, and it can help it can help the brand a lot, not just by selling other collectibles, but for how can I say, for open the mind for what the people are looking for, right? Sometimes, for example, the people are enjoying a character that the brand don't know about, and after check the data on the blockchain, they can realize that, right?
Exactly, and it's also a completely new revenue stream for them. So I think a lot of brands have started to see the potential behind digital collectibles and non-fungible tokens, and it's an exciting conversation to have.
Okay, and about you talked a little about the Chronicle app, but I'd like to know more about the features. Is there another feature that you can share with us?
Yeah, so basically, as I mentioned some of them already, we're looking to basically have a desktop web application as well as a smartphone app that you can download on iOS and Android. Registration to the platform would be via an email address with mobile phone verification. USD fiat on-ramp, as we've mentioned. The ability, okay, so now going into the actual features. So the ability to buy, sell, trade, swap digital collectibles, first of all. So very much like an OpenSea or a Rarible, but in the form of a smartphone application. The ability to also participate in auctions, so bidding features as well. Something new, which we haven't seen in too many apps, but the ability to also gift collectibles. So you might be purchasing a collectible for one of your friends or a family member that you can then gift to them. Social media integration. So we really think it's important from a network effects point of view to be able to, basically kind of show off your collection and to friends on Facebook and Twitter. That's kind of exciting. gamification of the platform. So Jim has done a lot of design work behind the XLNL token, which I'm sure we'll get into on this conversation. And a lot of the reward experience for the fans will be based around that XLNL token. And that kind of gamifies the system and encourages users to come back and really build up their profile a lot more. And yeah, and as mentioned, obviously the blockchain component is sitting kind of on the back end, and we look after that.
Okay. And I read the white paper, and I saw that you guys are going to have a kind of metals system, Chronicle Metals, right? And I'd like to know how it's going to work. What's the privilege or what's the difference between the different tiers levels?
That's for Jim.
Yeah, sorry guys, I got disconnected. Yeah, so
No problem.
we designed Chronicle Metals. So Chronicle Metals are basically native Chronicle NFTs that we designed ourselves, that we issued ourselves to use it as a recognition for users' contribution to the Chronicle system, ecosystem. So in a sense, for example, for certain users that stake XNL token within a period of time, based on how many tokens they stake and how long they stake, we'll give out like different XNL metals. Initially we might just have 4 different levels: legendary, rare, uncommon, common. And those NFTs are like a crystallization of your privilege on the platform. And that is an NFT and can be traded within Chronicle Marketplace. And that can also be used in the Chronicle store to give you early access or exclusive access to some of the limited edition NFT and some of the normal NFT sales. And those metals can also ensure other bonuses and discounts when you get into those sales.
Okay, got it. And just one message for the audience here. You can drop your comments, your question anytime here, okay? And I'm gonna to ask the founders of Chronicle, Jing and Jing, by the end of the stream, okay? Keep it going here. Let's see the next question. Well, in the pitch deck, you guys say about the unfair advantage, right, that you guys have. I'd like to understand more about this. What exactly is this, and how this can help you, Chronicle?
Yeah, so obviously, I think in this context, the unfair advantage is our history and our team. And I can talk a little bit about that. So back in 2014, myself and Jack Ewens, who's on the Chronicle studio, basically came up with an idea after hearing that Universal Pictures was going to be filming a 4th Jurassic Park movie. And we basically thought, wouldn't it be a great idea if we kind of did this kind of, website where we were piecing together events of the previous movies and putting in our own information of what we thought would be the prequel or the context for the new film that was kind of coming up. And we put this information all in a website, put it online for the fans to find, which they did. And after about 72 hours, I think that website crashed because it actually got picked up and went viral on Twitter. And IGN, the gaming magazine, picked it up and actually thought that Universal Pictures had dropped a viral marketing website. Sure enough, one thing led to another, and the film director, Colin Trevorrow, saw the website and really liked it and kind of said, well, these fans have a lot of knowledge of the franchise. Let's, involve them in some way. And so Universal Pictures formally reached out and got us over to Los Angeles. And, we met the studio, we met Colin and producer like Frank Marshall, and basically presented our ideas. And we all sat down together and basically worked on a sort of an immersive digital fan campaign for the movie, which we did between 2014 and 2015. Universal then basically for the next year and a half had Jack and I consulting on the film. We did a lot of work on the branding, licensing for the toys, the Lego series, the merchandise. I think there was a few sort of Netflix animated series as well. So they were involving us a lot from a fan perspective. And then in 2017, they invited us onto basically for the next film, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, to create another immersive digital fan campaign, this time around the dinosaur protection group. Obviously, the film kind of takes place in a setting where the dinosaurs are under threat from a volcano, so they're under threat from re-extinction. And we basically made the campaign to save the dinosaurs. And so it's kind of in this context where we've done fan campaigns before successfully. We've done, or we've worked rather, in collaboration with a worldwide recognized brand like Jurassic World. We've worked with a film studio, and I don't think every team that's done an NFT project can say that. And so from our perspective, we kind of have that as an advantage. The other thing which I should mention is Doug Neal, who was the Executive Vice President of Digital Marketing at Universal Pictures in Los Angeles at the time when we were consulting on the Jurassic World series. He actually recently left Universal Pictures and started teaching film marketing at UCLA. And as Jim and I were founding Chronicle, basically we reached out to Doug and told him about what we were doing. And sure enough, Doug is now joined the Chronicle team, and not just as an advisor. Yeah, he's our chief marketing officer and chief brand officer. So we basically have someone that's worked at Universal Pictures for a good I think close to 14 years. Basically was responsible for the digital marketing behind 200 of their films, and to have someone with that experience on our team with the background, collective background, really helps to open doors that would otherwise be very difficult to access. And from that perspective, that's the unfair advantage.
Oh, for sure. For having this thing and this background is a so huge advantage, right? And I'd like to know, how does Chronicle make money? It's with sales commission, or how?
That's right, yeah. So it is from a sales commission. So we basically create a licensing arrangement with the brands that we onboard, either as an exclusive or a non-exclusive arrangement. The digital collectibles within Chronicle are either sold from one of two ways. They could be sold from the online store, and that's where you would have individual cards or packs of cards being sold. Then you also have the auction for limited edition collectibles. So that's basically, we set a price floor, and then people bid, and the selling point is obviously the final bidder before the clock runs out. In both cases, Chronicle has a royalty, and the brand IP owner collects a royalty. So that's how Chronicle's making money there. And then there's the secondary marketplace. So if Jim unearths a rare digital collectible and he decides to sell it on the marketplace for $100, and I buy that, Chronicle has taken $2.50. So Chronicle is taking 2.5% of every secondary sale. And again, there's a royalty component within that.
Okay, got it. And I'd like to know a little more about the development. What's the current stage, the blockchain that you guys are using?
Yeah, I think for blockchain that we're currently, originally we decided to go with Binance Smart Chain because it's completely compatible with Ethereum, but at the same time with a very low gas fee. So in terms of user experience and efficiency, it will be good. And now taking a closer look at the tech, I think we'll probably at this stage we'll go with Near. So Near is like very innovative in this technology, and it solves basically the problem with Ethereum, and it has a Rainbow Bridge that is that can seamlessly connected to Ethereum. So obviously Ethereum still is the largest ecosystem, and I think in terms of integrating with the larger community, definitely we want to be more closer, one step closer to Ethereum. So in that case, we might go with Near at this stage.
Okay, got it. And now some questions about the market. I'd like to know if you guys have any competitors, and if so, which ones? And if you guys know, why are you guys better than these competitors?
Yeah, so obviously the leader in this space is very recognizable. That's obviously Dapper, and Dapper came out with NBA Top Shots, and Jim and I are probably the first people to admit that we absolutely love what they've done. They created they first of all teamed up with a brand, a very well recognized brand, the NBA, and came out with a digital collectibles marketplace that was focused not necessarily on crypto people, but on the fan base. And that was obviously very, very successful. Again, their platform was email address onboarding, USD fiat, and that's the model which we are looking to emulate for Chronicle, but also putting it into a smartphone application and extending that to many, many brands. So that's probably one key difference, or two key differences between us and that. We've also got other platforms. I think Quid is another one that's basically produced by Animoca. It's a smartphone application, but it's not every digital collectible that they have within their app is on the blockchain. So obviously, again, another key difference there with Quid. We have Vivi as well. Again, absolutely like what they've done. They've created the smartphone application. They've got digital collectibles from other well-known brands. However, their model is slightly different, right? Because they've got they're not doing collectible cards like we are. They're doing kind of 3D models and 3D figurines, and you can interact with them through augmented reality. Now, I'm probably the first person to say I'm a fan of all of them. I've got their apps on my phone. So I think, what's going to end up happening, Villa, is that, there's going to be a number of market leaders in this space, and there's definitely room for more than one. If I can just use an example of basketball cards, right, from the 90s, or baseball cards or cricket cards, whatever. Usually you would have, I remember at the time during the 1990s, there were at least five or six different card companies producing the same players and the same sets. You had Upper Deck, you had Tots, you had Hoops, you had Fleer, and people would collect them all. And so I think, in our opinion, I think that this space is going to evolve to see something very similar. And you're going to have brands basically putting their collectibles on multiple NFT platforms. And at the end of the day, it's probably going to come down to who's creating rather the most immersive experience.
Okay. And I agree with this, not just about the NFT and collectibles, but about many things in the crypto space. Because, for example, for oracles, you don't have just Chainlink. You have bands, you have other options, and there is space for many companies, right? Not just the one winner and the other ones are losers.
Jim and I talk about this all the time. There's a lot of brands out there, and not just in North America, but in China, in Japan, Indonesia, India.
Exactly. Yeah. And these brands are in different verticals. You have sports, you have like TV, television, you have animation, you have music, you have literature and art. So I don't think any company at this stage, or at least in the coming 2 to 3 years, will be capable of dominating everything, like every brand in every vertical. That would be huge. So still, I think it will be, if we say for Chronicle that at this stage we focus primarily on Hollywood brands and like film franchise, and those are our focus and our advantage. I think comparing to other platforms, we have a huge advantage on that, and that will be the point of attack.
Okay. And I agree, because the user interface is so important in this market, right? To attract people from outside crypto. Even here in crypto space, sometimes it's hard to use some tools, right? And for us that are here, imagine the people that are outside here. And so keep it going here. Questions about the team. I'd like to know a little more about the team, how many people are working, and
we've got, I think we calculate, we've got about 9. potentially a few more coming on board very soon, and closer, obviously, to the application launch in Q3. We're expected to probably have around 20. We've mentioned some of the team. Obviously, Jim and I founded the company. We've got Doug, who we've mentioned as well, who's come from the LA Universal Pictures background. We've got the Chronicle studio as well. So Jack, who I previously worked with on Jurassic World fan viral campaign. Manuel Bejarano as well. He's based in Spain. He's done a lot of 2D and 3D animation work. Done a lot of stuff with us with Jurassic World. He's absolute gun with 3ds Max, Blender, and all of those 3D softwares. So to have him on board is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we've got Jennifer over in Singapore, who's leading kind of the business and operation side of the business. So yes, there's quite a few people, and a lot of advisors.
Yeah, I saw on the website. That's good. And I'd like to know more about the partners, because you guys talked a lot about Hollywood and LA, but can you disclose some partnership, or you can't?
In terms of the brands themselves, yeah. So we can't disclose anything yet. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in the background, but I could probably say that it's no surprise that we are in discussion with a number of studios at the moment and a number of brands, just to basically talk about what we're building and the opportunity therein to onboard collectibles. This is a very, very new space relatively, and so these things just are taking a little bit of time in the background. With regards to the actual platform and technical partners within blockchain, we've announced a few. We had Four Season Ventures, who came on with our seed. And then we did an announcement yesterday, which is a bit of an exclusive, which named all of our partners in our seed, which is quite a few. It's a long list. And Jim, I guess we can also mention the partnerships with Bella and Chromia.
Yeah, Chromia is more like a technical partner that with technical support and solution for the backend, especially with regard to the NFT storage and smart contract. And also with Bella. So Bella was among the seed investors of ours, like very early stage investors, and we together are exploring some like combination and new innovative way how to combine NFT and DeFi together, so that can make it more attractive to the actual users and give them options of kind of like taking advantage of DeFi and NFT to yield some returns.
Okay. I'd like to understand more a little about DeFi, but I'm doing the question right now because I'd like to understand better about the token economics, what will be the use cases, and you just mentioned about DeFi. So I'd like to you guys say more about this.
Yeah, I think so. First of all, XNL token is the native utility token, which will definitely be used for for community governance. So we will in the future have a component where it will allow the community to propose and vote, so that we can better fit the product in need of the user's requirements. And also standard utilities would be XNL can be used as a transaction fee in a lot of transactions and pay for the listing commissions to the platform. And also it can be used to, as I mentioned previously, XNL can be used to you can stake XNL to get Chronicle Metals, and with Chronicle Metals, you can tap into all those bonuses, discounts, and access to limited edition NFTs, all sort of stuff. So that actually is the indirect utilities of XNL token. And another big aspect, which we will explore in the future, probably not in the roadmap of this year, but definitely next year, would be we will have a Chronicle DAO section where we will use XNL as like a basic token, like an entry token, to create a secondary token, what we call brand token, for different brands that we onboard Chronicle. And because the NFT in its nature has very low volume in transaction, and it circulates not very well within the secondary market, so we can actually create a secondary brand token that reflects the value for each brand's NFT's profitability and value. And that can be traded within the secondary market. And XNL, together with the brand token, will come together to become a trading pair. And in order to claim or buy your brand token, you need XNL token, because that basically is like the blood of the entire system.
Okay. So that's good, because it will drive the main token, right? The XNL. How can I say? Will have value, because the people will have to have this token in order to have the brand one, right? The brand token. And I'm seeing here many questions. Just to remember, guys, I'm going to ask by the end of the stream. Okay, you can keep dropping your questions here. So one more question about the token economics. What will be the initial market cap and the hard cap? How much are you guys raising?
Yeah, I think the initial market cap is around $840,000 US dollars on the market, and the total supply of XNL tokens is 100 million tokens. And we have different vesting periods for the seed round and the private round as well. Yeah. So sorry. Anything I missed?
That sounds right. I think
yes.
So I can probably just add to that there are different vesting periods for seed and private. Public doesn't have a vesting period. And if anyone wants to know, I guess, sort of more of a category breakdown, that's all available in the white paper on the Chronicle website.
Okay, but how about the tokens of the team? Are they locked up?
Oh yeah, they're locked.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. That's
I think locked for at least a year, Jim. So if we look at the vesting periods, we've got basically public sale participants obviously have their tokens unlocked from day one. Private participants have 10% unlocked at the token generation event, and then the rest basically vest over kind of a period of 6 months. The seed sale participants have 5% of their tokens unlocked at token generation event, and the remainder unlocks or vests over a 12-month period. And then your team and advisors, they're locked up for a lot longer.
Okay. And how about the IDO? When and where it will be held?
Yeah, so currently we're talking with a few top launch pads at the moment. We're targeting a June launch. We actually already fixed the deal with one of them, but we want to keep the option. We want to be open to better options as well. So the exact date hasn't been fixed, or the decision on an exclusive IDO on certain launchpad or a multi or dual exchange launch on multiple launchpads hasn't been made. So yeah, please stay tuned. I guess the decision will be made very soon, and yeah, we are expecting a June launch, given the uncertainty of the overall market.
Okay, as soon as you guys release more information, I'm going to share here with the audience.
We'll let you know straight away, Villa. It'll be an exclusive.
Okay, and how about SEX, centralized exchange listing? Are you guys thinking about this? And if so, already are you guys negotiating with some exchange? I'm not sure if you guys can disclose also, but
yeah,
I'm trying.
We can't. We definitely have talked to a few centralized exchange, and we are pretty much guaranteed one of them. It's not a small one. That's the only thing that I can disclose. So that will happen. Yeah, that will happen probably right after our IDO. That's all we can disclose at this stage.
Okay, that's a good one. And do you guys have some KPIs that you can share, or goals? I don't know, like users, like sales.
We can probably talk about our roadmap, right? So that's obviously mentioned in our white paper, and we've kind of covered it as well in some of the previous AMAs. But essentially, everything that we've wanted to do for Q1, Q2 has been on track and has been met. For Q3, that's when we actually want to, basically finish the development of the Chronicle platform, have it, sort of beta tested and go live with a number of brands. So that's probably our first KPI, if you like, and that's set for kind of like late June, early August. So you can expect the Chronicle platform to be pretty much live relatively soon. And I think in Q4 we're looking at the Chronicle Metals, isn't it, right, Jim? I think it's the Chronicle Metals for Q4 being integrated into the Chronicle system. Villa, the way that we're looking at Chronicle is that we basically want to work with brands that have large fan bases. And so the idea is that not only does the XNL and the crypto community get upside with Chronicle and the purchasing of the digital collectibles, but we're going to be basically actively marketing the brands that we've onboarded into Chronicle amongst the fan bases of those respective brands. And that's kind of where we're expecting to get great upside with the users, and everyone will benefit.
Okay, nice. And guys, I'm going to roll out a small video right now, and then I'm going to do the questions and answer, okay?
Like this video, subscribe to CryptoVilla's channel, and click on the bell button in order to turn on your notifications. Also, don't forget to follow him on Twitter. That's the only way to get notified earlier, so you can take advantage of this. Information is power. Early information is profit.
So guys, the first question
That's pretty
is
nice.
from... Thank you. The first question is from myself. I'd like to ask about the app. Are you guys thinking about having many languages in the app? For example, for Brazilian people here, we need a Portuguese version. Almost anyone here speaks English. Are you guys thinking about this?
Yeah, I think definitely. Initially, because we're targeting North American and English-speaking, English-native countries, so initially it will be in English language, but definitely we'll make it compatible in other languages as well. And just on this, in the future, we actually will, because you want to create a product that is tailored for each culture in like different geographical locations in different countries. So actually, in the future, there will be different versions of the app that can they'll be ran independently within different regions. Say, example, I'm in China, I'm in Beijing, so there will be a Chinese version that tailored to Chinese culture, and even with those NFT that is coming from China, like Chinese brands, specifically for the Chinese community and market. So that's something in the future, but initially it will be a more generic product with supporting multiple languages.
Okay. Calistenia asks here, what you would say in an exclusive feature that differentiates Chronicle from other NFT projects? You guys already said, but if you have anything else to add?
I'd probably just summarize what we said before. So obviously, what we're looking to do from other NFT platforms it's more of kind of you call it a centralized approach, because basically, as mentioned, we've gone to some of the studios and the bigger brands and said, look, what would you be comfortable in partnering with for something in the digital collectible space? And so we've definitely seen the opportunity to create a platform that is feature rich in terms of being able to make the purchasing of digital collectibles as easy and as simple as possible. And so that's what we've put into Chronicle.
Okay. The next question is from Thais. She asks here, in your opinion, are these brands more open to the crypto world? I think you can be a bridge between the big brands of entertainment and the massive adoption of blockchains. A good question.
That's great. Yeah, I can definitely say that I think the media attention that both blockchain as well as NFTs have received kind of, this year really has made everyone basically, look into this. I think a lot of it maybe was driven through Twitter, Elon Musk. I think a lot of it was driven through the Beeple art piece that sold for $69 million. So yeah, certainly I think, a lot of that narrative and PR has really awakened a lot of the brands, and they're starting to take interest. And so what we've seen is that you've got brands who are willing to go into this straight away. You have other ones who, are kind of looking to see what other brands are doing, and they're taking their time. And then obviously you've got the late adopters who are just like, well, this is not for us right now. And we're kind of seeing that as we talk to them.
Okay. Next question here from 2SFM. Will be there any KYC requirements in order to use the app, your product?
Yeah, that's a good question. In fact, more than likely there will be, particularly with regards to the onboarding of bank account information. If you want to basically deposit funds from a bank account into Chronicle, there would be a KYC component. When you register to Chronicle, it does ask you for some verification details such as a mobile number, email address. We've also asking for a date of birth because we need to ensure that the content that we're going to be showing to the user is age appropriate as well. Sure. So obviously there are a few questions that we have to do for compliance reasons.
Sure. Alistania asks, the NFT purchase on the platform will be comfortable to send them to ERC20 wallets?
That's another good question. So obviously, because we are creating a digital collectibles platform that is run on the NEAR protocol, and because we have to ensure that the brands can still basically have a 2.5% commission from the secondary sale market, the collectibles need to stay within Chronicle. That's really important, and that's one of the things that we have to explain to everyone. So basically, when you're using Chronicle, you basically have an entire ecosystem in the palm of your hand, and so the collectibles pretty much stay within Chronicle. However, you've got the absolute freedom to get as many of your friends on Chronicle as possible. You can basically trade amongst your friends. And the collectibles stay within Chronicle, and that way, if there's trading going on, we have oversight of that, and the brands can continue to collect a royalty.
Okay. Next one by CMG. Will you have any kind of social network or integration with any of them?
Yeah, correct. So you as a user, you will be able to set up your Chronicle profile and you can choose to have that profile private or public, and you can link, your social media accounts to your profile. So it could be like you're linking to your Facebook account or your Twitter account or a YouTube channel, if you have that. I think we mentioned earlier on that we love the idea of a user kind of being able to share or show off their collection, and so we definitely want to make the most of social media.
Okay, and Samiji says you should NFT the Crypto Villas video.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Who's going to buy it? Probably Villa.
And next question from Calistenia. Do you guys think it will be possible implementation of earning like staking rewards for owning NFTs on your platform?
Yeah, I mean, this is part of the Chronicle Metal idea. So basically, is once you stake XNL tokens on the platform, you'll be rewarded a metal, and that metal can be used to. It's basically a metal of privilege to recognize your contribution that you have done and recognize your sacrifice you have done of holding on the token, not trading them, etc. So yeah, definitely we'll implement that, and by using the metal, you'll be tapping into all the benefits of the platform.
Okay. So we are at the end of the stream. I'd like to just ask you guys if you have any final thoughts that I'd like to share with my audience.
I'll just say thank you for having us on your show, Vila, and thank you to the audience for tuning in and the fantastic questions. And if you have any more, feel free to join the community and reach out to us. We'd love to have you.
Yeah, really Telegram appreciate Twitter, everyone's time. Sorry?
On Telegram and Twitter, right?
Yeah, Telegram and Twitter. Yes. Yeah.
And all of the links are on the Chronicle.io website.
Okay.
Yeah. Any feedback, and thoughts, and anything that the audience and like our supporters that want tell us, just message us in the chat, message us in the group, or leave a comment on Twitter. And that would take into consideration, because we're fan focused and everyone, you guys are the fan. So we will listen to what you want and what you need and incorporate that into the product. That's the idea.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming, guys. Thank you for this long interview, but it was very, very nice. I think every part of the project was covered here, and no one has no doubt. And thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you again so much. It was a big pleasure to me and a big honor as well.
Pleasure is
ours.
Pleasure,
everyone. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Vila. Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye. And guys, just to remember, tomorrow, 2 p.m. UTC, I'm going to be here again in order to make another live and share with you guys all the news in the crypto space, okay? Thank you so much for coming, and bye.